Minasan, konnichiwa. Today I'll be teaching you about short form, which is another form that we must know in order to advance in Japanese language. It is very important, so please pay attention. We conjugate long form, masu dasu form, into short form. And we can do this with verbs, adjectives, not adjectives, and then nouns with des. So for verbs, instead of tsukurimasu, just simply turn it into tsukuru. This is also called dictionary form, jishoke. So if you look it up in the dictionary, it will say tsukuru. For adjectives, kawaii desu can just be kawaii. So we just drop the des. For not adjectives, jouzu desu, to be talented, we just remove the des and add da. So it'd be jouzu da. And then for nouns and des, we could say shigoto desu, it's a job. We would just pretty much like not adjectives, just put a da at the end. So shigoto da. We can also use negative short form, which is a little different. For verbs, tsukurimasen would be the long or masu desu form. Instead, we just make it negative and say tsukuranai. For adjectives, kawakunai desu. Simply as before, just drop the des. So, kawakunai. For not adjectives, jouzu janai desu. I'm not talented. You could just say jouzu janai and drop the des. And then for nouns, shigoto janai desu. It's not a job. Just say shigoto janai. You don't need anything else. Okay, and now let's talk about verbs. So omo, to think. Into short form, it would just be omo wanai, because the u turns into wa every time you make something negative. Alright, and then kesu, to erase. Kesanai. Tatsu, the tsu turns to ta, so we say tatanai. Asobu, to play or hang out, would be asobanai, because the bu goes to ba. I, to say, would just go to iwanai. As we remember with this one, the u goes to wa, so it's the same for here. I, iwanai. Shinu, to die. Shinanai, which sounds a little strange, but since it's a nu, we have to keep the n sound, so it goes shi-na-nai. Sumu, to live. Sumanai. Futoru, to be overweight. We would just say futoranai. So the ru turns into ra. And then isogu, to hurry. Isoganai. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the u will never change to a, so just be a little careful about that. And then we have irregular verbs, which conjugate just a little bit differently than the rest, so I'll explain that a little bit. So we have suru, which is just the generic ending to say to do something. Turns into shinai. Kuru, to come. Konnai, and this is very difficult to understand at first, so it's completely different. There's no similarities between these two. So kuru and konnai. And then there's just one very special conjugation, which is aru. It just turns into nai. So for example, we would say for the rei, which means for example, watashi no ie de naifu ga nai yo. So that just means there are no knives in my house, you know. So instead of saying watashi no ie de naifu ga arimasen, instead of arimasen, just say nai. And then the yo just means kind of like a clarification, like, you know. And that's all I have for you today. Arigato.